y'all, it's Ms. McNabb again. These are the examples for your 7.5 notes. These are the notes that help you with writing lines that have parallel or perpendicular slopes once they give you a line. So we are going to go ahead and get started with example 1 right here. So example 1 asks us to write the equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through 5, -1, and is parallel to y equals -3/5 x minus 1. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Just like we do in English when we annotate and we write down what we know and what we can kind of get from what we've read, we're going to do the same thing here. So first off, I know that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I got that. Put that right there. And I know it passes through a point. I'm going to write down just to remind myself that points are always given in x, y. So I have an x value and a y value here. And that's supposed to be a comma. It looks like a 1. I don't know. It's a comma. And is parallel. The word parallel is important. To y equals -3/5 x minus 1. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do here is I need to find the slope of the line given. Okay, so the slope of the line given that they gave us, I know is -3/5. And I know that because when I'm dealing with slope-intercept form, my slope is always going to be attached to my x. So I look for that x and it's going to point me to the slope. So I can see here that my slope is going to be -3/5. So the first thing I need to do is find the slope of the line given. This is my given line. M equals -3/5. Okay, so now they want me to use the point 5, -1 and the slope blank to write the equation in point slope form. Well, they didn't give me a slope in this equation of what my new line should be. But they gave me a hint. They gave me a clue. They told me that it's parallel. And I know that keyword parallel to me means that my slopes are going to be equal. So I know that if my slope in my given line is -3/5, then my slope in my new line has to be equal to that. So my slope to my new line has to also be -3/5 because parallel lines have equal slopes. So that key word parallel is a big deal here. Okay? And I know they also gave me the point 5, -1. So again, I'm going to write my x and my y, but I know that I'm going to be writing it in point slope form. So I'm actually going to write my x1, that's an x1, and I know I'm going to write my y1 to help me figure out my formula here. Those aren't sevens, those are parentheses. It's okay. x1, y1. Okay, so we're going to use this point and the slope -3/5 to write the equation in point slope form. And they give us point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Beautiful, love it. So my y1 value is -1, -1, okay? My slope, my m value is -3/5. It's going to be a tight fit in here, but we can do it. 3/5 Okay, and then my x1 value goes here, and I know that that's 5. Okay, so now I need to rewrite this cleaner and prettier. This is not gonna, this is too messy. So I'm going to write y. I know that minus -1 is actually plus. Math, in math, 2 wrongs do make a right. So we have y plus 1 equals -3/5 x. Oh wait, -3/5 times x minus 5. Okay, so I've rewritten my new equation in, this is in really pretty point slope formula, but oh no, they asked for slope intercept. Whew, I got another step, y'all. So I need to get it into slope intercept. To get it to slope intercept, I have to solve for y. Okay, so this is just like I did on my homework the other day. I know I can do this. Okay, we got this. I know that my first step is I'm going to look for distribution, which is going to be a number outside of parentheses. So I've got my -3/5 times x and my -3/5 times -5. Cool, I can distribute those. Nothing changes on this side of my equation. So I've got y plus 1 equals -3/5 x. Ooh, that's a lot to say. -3/5 x. And then -3 times -3/5 times -5 is going, I know a negative times a negative is positive. We got that. So it's going to be plus, and then -3/5 times -5 is going to be 3. Okay. Oh, we still haven't solved for y yet though, because we still have y plus 1. So we've got to find another step to do. Okay, let's see. Now I know that I've still got this plus 1 over here. Well, we need to get rid of that. So -1 from both sides. Okay, so you've got y equals, yes, we got to y equals. We're almost there, y'all. Y equals -3/5 x. And then 3 minus 1 is 2, so it's plus 2. So -3/5 x plus 2 is our slope-intercept form. And I know I'm done because it's in y equals form. I'll give you a second to screenshot or to pause this to work on it. Okay, moving on. I do want to go over just kind of what the steps were real quick, just to make sure that we're clear on what we did here. So first we found the slope of the line given. Then we used the point and the slope and a new slope that we had to figure out to write the equation in point slope form. Did all that. And then we had to solve for y. So we had to find the slope given, use the point and the new slope to write the equation in point slope form, and then we had to solve for y. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, line J. has an equation of y equals negative 2x plus 8. Perpendicular to line J is line K. Aha, I'm going to draw myself a pretty little picture here. So I've got line J and K. Perpendicular to line J is K, which passes through 8, 5. I know that 8, 5 gives me an x1 and a y1. Okay. The word perpendicular means I'm going to have to put my slope down, flip it, and reverse it. Okay, so perpendicular. And then they want to know what is the equation of line K. Okay, they also gave me the equation of line J. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So first off, we need to find our original slope. So I'll do let's do m sub g because it's our given slope. M sub g is going to be the slope of this equation, which is negative 2. I know that, and then let's call m sub n our new slope. Mn equals, so not negative 2, I know it's going to be positive, and remember, I know that that's a whole number, so it always has an imaginary denominator of 1. So if I flip that, it is actually, now my new slope is going to be positive 1/2. So this is my new slope that I want to use. Okay, 1/2. And I know that I have an x1 of 8 and a y1 of 5. So I can fill out my point slope form. So my y1 is 5. Let's pick a different color here. My y1 is 5. My slope, remember my new slope, because it is changed, it's not the same because these aren't parallel, they're perpendicular. So my new slope is going to be 1/2. And then my x1 value is 8. So that means that I'm going to have y minus 5 equals 1/2. Ooh, Miss McNabb, you can do better. 1/2, apparently you can't. X minus 8. Whew, I got my new equation. Unfortunately, it is in point slope form. And they want my answer to be slope-intercept. And I'm remembering that slope-intercept, y'all, is y equals mx plus b. So this will not work. Now I need to solve for y so that I can get it into the right form. Solve for y. Uh-oh. There we go. You got to be smarter than the computer, y'all. And some days it's not a fair fight. Some days the computer is just a lot smarter than me. So remember, when I'm solving for y, very first thing I'm going to look for is if I can distribute. I can distribute because I have a number outside of some parentheses. So I'm going to distribute my 1/2 to my x and to my -8. Remember, when I'm distributing, I am multiplying. Nothing changes on my y minus 5 side of my equation. So I'm going to go ahead and write y minus 5 equals 1/2. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. Remember, it's nothing fancy. Just because it's a fraction, you can just write the number in front of the letter, just like we do with the whole numbers. And then 1/2 times -8, well, I know a positive times a negative is going to give me a negative. And basically, this is saying, what's 1/2 of 8? Well, that's 4. Or you can use a calculator to figure out 1/2 times 8. Okay, so I've made some progress, but I'm still not in y equals form yet. I've still got a +5 or a -5 hanging out over here. I can move it though and get it out of here so that I've got my y quarantined by adding 5 to both sides. Y'all hear the lovely construction noise behind me? It's just so exciting. Okay, so now we have y. These guys cancel out because -5 plus 5 is 0. So y equals 1/2 x -4 plus 5 is going to be +1. Now I have it in slope-intercept form. I have a y equals. I am good to go here. Let me box it on up so Miss McNabb knows what craziness on here is my response. Ooh, because there's a lot on here. This is how you know you're really doing math, guys. When you use up the whole page. That's how you know you're doing some math. So just a reminder, our first step, I'll go ahead and kind of do some numbers here for you. Our first step was we found our original slope. We found our given slope. Then we found our new slope and used that to fill in the point slope formula. And then we solved for y. Okay. I'll let you screenshot or pause for a minute so you can work. Okay, guys, here's the last one for today. I'm going to go ahead and cross out 2 because this is actually the third example that we're doing. I don't want people to get super confused. Okay, so example 3. They want us to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line that goes through 3, -1, and is parallel to y equals -2x plus 4. So I'm going to remind myself that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Move that up a little bit. There we go. So I'm reminding myself there that's what I'm going for. And the line goes through 3, -1. So I can remind myself that that is always going to be an x value for the first one. So that 3 is an x, and then -1 is going to be our y value. And then the word parallel is giving me my big keyword about my slope for my new line. So the word parallel, remember, 2 parallel lines look like an equal sign. So my slope, or my m value, is going to be equal. So our given slope, the m sub g that they give us, in our original problem, remember, I look to my x and look at the number that's attached to it to find my slope. So for x, I get a -2 is attached to it. And then my m sub n, my new slope, new and improved, remember it's parallel. Parallel lines are equal. Parallel lines have equal slopes, so it's also going to be -2. So I have my slope for my new line. I have an x1 value, and I have a y1 value. So I can fill out point slope form. So I know my y1 value is going to be -1. I can plug that in right there. y1, -1. My m value, I just figured out because it's parallel to my original slope, it's going to be -2. And then I have x minus my x1 value is 3. Now I can clean this up just a little bit. I know that y minus -1, 2 negatives make a positive, only in math, not in real life. So y minus -1 equals y plus 1 equals -2, open parentheses, x minus 3. Okay, there's my point slope form. Unfortunately though, I'm not done because they want me to get to y equals. So I need to solve for y. So I can look at this and tell that my very first step is going to be distribution because I have a number hanging out right in front of some parentheses. And when I distribute, I'm multiplying to each term or each piece inside of the parentheses. So I will end up with, and I'm going to go ahead and roll on up here. I will end up with y plus 1 doesn't change. Equals -2x. Remember, a number mashed up with a letter is multiplication. -2x. And then -2 times -3, a negative times a negative is a positive, so that's plus 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so I'm getting closer, but I'm still not there yet. I still have this +1 hanging out with my y, and I want my y by itself. I want to quarantine it. I want to isolate it. So I have y, whoops, wrong thing. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides because I can use inverse operations, but if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. Okay, +1 minus 1 is 0, so that cancels out. So I'm left with y equals -2x. 6 minus 1 is +5, so it'll be +5. There you go. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions or need any more help on this, feel free to email me. And other than that, have a great day. Bye.